Does it ever feel like you flew through a unit and then your students suddenly forgot everything the moment it was over? Instead of rushing straight into the next topic, profe, I've started building in a reflection week after every unit. It's a pause button for me and for them, and it's made a huge difference in my Spanish classroom. So, at the end of every unit, after our 4 or 5 weeks where we have dug into our new materials, we've done a project, we've engaged, we've assessed, we've seen everything, we pause, we review, we reflect, and we all get a reset. So I call it my reflection week, but it's our built in time to slow down, look at growth, and set goals before jumping into something new. This week is not about grades, although it is an opportunity for my students to improve their grades. And it's an opportunity for me to catch up on grading. More about that in a different video over here. This week is about growth. So let's talk about what reflection week looks like in my classroom. So the first couple days we review and we celebrate. We do fun review with games. We have discussion about what we remember most from this unit, what we enjoyed. We also emphasize wins and let students share things that they're proud of. I have a reflection activity, which is worksheet based, and it asks my students about their grades, what that means about their effort and their learning, the feedback that I've given them lately, so that they're actually looking at that feedback and taking it into consideration. And I encourage my students to look for patterns in that feedback to identify what specifically they can do better to improve in the upcoming unit. And then I also ask them what feels easy, what do they feel confident about, and where do they feel like they could do better. I encourage my students to give honesty because there's no wrong answers. It's just about noticing how they're doing. As we dig further into this, I encourage them to set a specific goal, and it could be a skill or it could be a habit. My students set goals anything from wanting to use specific vocabulary to being able to interact with Spanish speaking family. Maybe it's just a matter of remembering to do their homework, but they're setting a goal that's meaningful to them, personal to them. It could be about their confidence, their participation, their mindset, anything. If you want to, this could be an opportunity to create a goal wall in your classroom where students can share the goals that they have with each other, and then they could use that as a bank of goals to get ideas and inspiration from when you do this reflection. Something else that I do as my students are setting their goals is that I check in with each of them. This is time consuming, but it's so worth it. So something you can do on this day is you can ask your students to set their goals, and then you can give them time to make up projects or to get ahead, to study for another class. It's okay to do that. Remember that it's okay to do that. And during that time, I'm checking in with them one-on-one, encouraging them to set strong goals and giving them feedback on those goals. During those little check-ins, we talk about what it actually looks like to reach that goal. So for example, if my student says that they want to turn in their homework every week and remember to do their homework every day, I might say, so what does that look like? If I'm looking at your planner or if I'm looking at your homework, what am I seeing? And so then they're thinking more strategically about what it actually means to achieve that goal and the steps that they have to take to get there. And then I mentioned that I offer the opportunity here to wrap up any missing assignments, to finish those reflections, and then, like I said, we're conferencing individually. You could also offer an opportunity here for extra credit. I give my students like an optional capstone assignment where they can show off in a fun, creative way something that they learned in this unit or something that maybe we touched on and didn't have the opportunity to explore more deeply. They can dig into that and then show me what they've learned about it. This reflection week has completely shifted the tone of my classroom. Instead of racing to the finish and immediately jumping into the next unit, we pause and process. And it's so nice. And it feels like an opportunity to breathe. It's also amazing to see students recognizing their own growth, especially when they notice how far they've come from the start of a unit to the end of it. And this is also a reminder for me and for you that progress is better than perfection. Okay. So I have a ready to use reflection and goal setting resource to make this process super easy. It's going to guide your students through reviewing their grades, reflecting on feedback, and setting realistic, meaningful goals for the next unit. It's affordable and completely flexible. You can use it digitally or on paper with any level or theme. Okay. It's one of those resources you can reuse all year, and honestly, it makes grading and reflection week feel less overwhelming. So if you feel like your class has been moving too fast, try building in a reflection week. Your students and your future self will thank you. So make sure you go grab that resource in the description below. Tell me in the comments how you help your students reset and reflect after a unit. Hasta luego, profe.